Good morning. Happy Saturday. This is Val Campbell. It is the 24th of November, and I want to welcome all of you to the Viiva group. This is an amazing opportunity that we're in the process of. Sometimes I have to look down and try and remember what day is it, because things are going by pretty fast. And I know that we have a lot of new people here, so I'm going to try and bring you up to speed a little bit of the backstory. So about a couple of years ago, I was working on a project in Africa and India and Asia with a company doing some referral marketing using social media. And I happened to create a really great relationship with a guy who works inside the industry. He works for a company representing them in markets primarily in India and Africa. And he and I became very close. There's a lot of agreement on philosophy and what we see in this industry. And there was a point in time when I was done with that project when I asked him, I said, look, if you see anything going on out there, I'm looking for a new company. I was looking for a spectacular opportunity. I wanted to be in a special spot in a special situation. I've been working in this industry a long time, and I've made some money. I've had some success, but I've never had the opportunity to really be in that special spot, And I describe this as riding the momentum of that first wave after a launch. And it really is a special time in a company and in a team, in an organization, what you experience there. I've been there in other industries, and I wanted to experience that in referral marketing because the results are spectacular. They're amazing. And there is a pattern in the industry that we can look at of other companies. And I have friends that are in these companies making millions of dollars a year. So I know what the pattern is. I know what product lines are best to be represented. I know what the compensation plans are because I've studied this intensively. And if anybody wants to go through that with me, I'll be more than happy to discuss it. But we won't get into all of that here. Anyway, this friend of mine called me at one point and he says, yeah, there's this really interesting company called Tavala. I said, well, how do you spell that? He says Tavala. And he said, you need to get with these guys. And he said, the management team is awesome. He said, there's some really amazing referral marketing field people that are accumulating there. And he said, there's going to be something exciting going on here. So I said, great. Who should I work with? And he said, you need to hook up with my friends, Dave and Joy. So I did. And started going through the process of learning about them, meeting the management people, talking to them, really getting prepared for a major launch of my own team. And we were in the middle of discussing having a special role in the development of some of the Asian markets. And about a month ago, they announced that the company had been sold. And my first thought was, well, this is interesting. I mean, it's only a 2-year-old country. They're in 36 nations. It's not real typical for a company to be sold at that point. It's more typical for a company to be sold maybe after 10 or 15 years, maybe as the owners get older. Well, as it so happens, the owner of this company was an older gentleman who is a very famous formulator. And the series of events that happened is that there is an Asian gentleman who is phenomenally successful in this industry, the direct marketing industry, especially referral marketing and developing consumer networks. And he's been on the field side. He's been the developer of the teams of the consumer networks, and extremely successful. Made a lot of money in that side of the industry. And then, as I understand it, because of some of the things that went on in Asia having to do with regulations, he decided to cross over into ownership of companies. And he owns 2 companies in Asia that are very, very successful. Excuse me. So he now is devoting his attention, and I guess he owns a number of other businesses. I've read up on him a little bit. He's in the wine industry and some different types of a bunch of different types of businesses, as extremely wealthy people often are, right? And he's devoted himself to developing a dominant global company in the referral marketing industry, direct marketing. And so he came to the United States and hired one of the top management teams. They identified some top products in the marketplace that happened to be owned and developed by the guy that owns Tavala. I hope you're following this. It gets a little touchy, but they went to him and asked if they could market these products, if they could have the rights to them. And he said, well, no, because they're in this other company, but he's in his 80s. He said, I'll sell you the other company, and then you'll have all the products, and you'll have the referral marketing network also. So that wasn't apparently what they were really thinking of initially, but as they came to the negotiation, they realized this was the perfect product line. This type of product is the platform that all major successful companies in referral marketing focus on. This is health and wellness, because you can take it anywhere in the world. There's no cultural issues, no legal issues. You don't have to go through a lot of, FDA approvals and things like that. Those issues do not exist in this class of products. They're easy to ship. You get the point, right? They are the perfect. All of the successful companies do this. So here we sit. We've got a young owner, and I'll show you a little bit of information about him in a minute. A young owner who's very wealthy, who's super experienced in this industry, devoted to developing one of the top companies in the world. We have a product line that's superior. We have a compensation plan that is the exact type that is the best for building up these companies. We have a experienced field leadership team that's done not only big domestic teams, but big international teams. What else do we need, right? I mean, we've got one of the top management teams in the industry that has a demonstrated experience of long-term management of companies up into the hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's all here. Everything is right here. The perfect storm, right? I said earlier, all the stars are lined up. We couldn't figure this any better. So needless to say, very, very excited. And let's take a minute. I'm going to flip over and share my desktop, and we're going to talk about the products and the compensation plan, and then we're going to tell you how to get started. Okay, because just trust me, you don't want to waste any time on this, because we've got a head start of about 6 to 8 weeks here on the rest of the world. They're going to have their launch on the 9th of January. It is now coming on the end of November. So we've got a little period of time here that you can lay down a foundation going into that launch and capture that momentum. Okay, special time. Let me flip over here. Okay, so I just want to regroup here a little bit and explain to you that the company that is being started is called Viiva, Viiva. And our team, we have named the Viiva Group. And we get to do that because we're one of the first. See, there's some things that are really cool about being before everybody else. And this is my wife, Ems, and I, and she's the most incredible person in the world. And trust me, when someday you'll get a chance to meet her, and you'll agree with me. There's nobody else like her. She's just incredible. This is the owner, the majority owner of Viiva, and I want to emphasize that one of the things that he required of this management team is that they also have ownership. I think that's very wise, because these guys have skin in the game, as the saying goes, and they're devoted because they're going to make a lot of money when the company's successful. So that's really great. This gentleman was on the field side of things. He has developed a huge international network, consumer network. And now he's on the ownership side. I've read different reports of him that he's worth upwards of $5 billion, depending on how you want to count the billions. And that's always one of those things with these guys. Once you get up to that size, you don't even know exactly how much money you owe, right? Or how much money you own. So let's talk about the product lines. Again, health and wellness. We're talking about things like skin care and dieting, weight loss products, and protein and nutritionals, things like that. These are the best products to launch these global companies. So Trim is a foundational product. You see it's available not only in the sticks of powders, but also in the tablets, the capsules. It's a fantastic product. It's not only used for weight loss and appetite suppression, but also as an energy drink, and that's primarily how I enjoy it, because you get a really nice mental clarity. I've used a number of different products in this industry, and I can just tell you that hands down, this is the best product that I have tried in this industry, bar none. So I'm super excited about this. It's a fantastic product. Tamanu Organics. This is a line of skincare that's built around the Tamanu oil. The thing that's really special about that oil is that it has shown regenerative cellular properties. It stimulates the growth of new skin cells and has actually been used to treat scar tissues, because it helps to rebuild those skin cells. So this is a really, really high class skincare line. All ingredients are cold pressed. They're formulated for all skin types. There are no synthetic ingredients, no synthetic fragrances, no known carcinogens, and no fillers. I mean, basically, folks, this is just pure food for your skin. That's the way to look at it. Your skin is the largest organ in your body. We need to take care of it, and this is a fantastic product line to do that. Again, best in class. That's what we've got here. Every product that we've seen here is best in class. And I come from this industry. I've seen almost all of these different products. I've used them in different companies I've been around. Tavala Shake, a fantastic product. It is a vanilla. Don't know about other flavors coming, although they do have something called Kicks, which are little flavor packs. But I use this in my smoothies. It's a great product. Blends really well. You know, sometimes with these shake products and protein products, you put them in there and they just don't want to mix up right. This stuff just mixes right in. It's really smooth. And it's got a lot of good nutritional value to it. So this is a fantastic product. Quantum Relief Strips. These are little silk patches that are infused with an energy. I'm going to admit to you, I'm not a physicist, right? These were developed by a physicist in South Korea. I just know they work for me, right? I'm not allowed to make medical statements. Okay, I just tell you what my experience is. I had carpal tunnel surgery on both of my hands, and the nurses were amazed at how accelerated my healing was, and I had no pain whatsoever. Now, I can't tell you that they're going to work for every situation for everybody, right? I've actually had a couple of people that didn't feel, well, I don't think they, did that much for me in their particular situation. But I can tell you that I have a really, really good friend from childhood who owns a health clinic in the northeast part of the United States. She actually has a fracture in her back. She tells me these are the only thing that have been able to help her, and she uses them with a lot of her patients. So, these are a fantastic product, but they are a natural relief. Okay, they're not a drug. So you just need to keep that in mind. But I would say this is one of the best products that I've ever used of any type of any product. They're just incredible. I'm a true believer. Amazon Gold. This is, again, a fantastic product. This is a dehydrated pulp of several different fruits, these super fruits. And these tropical fruits and berries were really kind of discovered maybe about 20 years ago. There were some studies done trying to figure out why some of these populations down around the Amazon lived so much longer than other people with amazing health. They just didn't get sick. And what they narrowed this down to was that these dark-skinned tropical fruits have amazing nutritional properties, especially super high concentrations of antioxidants. And some of the best products in the industry over the last 15 years have centered around acai and some of these different products. So, again, I'm super excited. I say that a lot, don't I? I guess I'm just really excited about these products and this opportunity. And we have now one of the top antioxidant blends in the industry. And a lot of the research and development of these products were done out of Texas Agricultural and Mining, Texas A&M down in the state of Texas. And this is one of the top universities, research universities in the United States. And there's the Talcott team down there is one of the top teams. Stephen Talcott, excuse me, is the leader's name. One of the top teams in this particular line of nutritional research. And they did a study. Excuse me. They did a study, and the bottom line here was the berry's absorption in humans is important because it is known to contain numerous antioxidants. I better wet my whistle. Okay, thank you. So let's talk about how the money's made. These compensation plans are super important because they focus the energy of the organization into the right kind of development behaviors. Okay, just say that right. One of the main purposes of compensation plans is to reward the right kind of team building and network building behaviors. Does that make sense? We know that the best compensation plans in the industry are a hybrid of two different types of formulas, the binary and the unilevel. Now let's explain this a little bit. The money comes from the savings that these companies have because they're not going through the retail system. And normally in the retail system, you've got this series of trucking and warehouses and retail stores and all the costs, the advertising, the celebrity endorsements. Those represent about 80% of every dollar that is spent at retail. So what these companies do is they go direct through their websites. They go direct to us, the consumers. They take a portion of that savings. They set it aside into a pool. And every week or every month, depending on the piece of the compensation, this formula looks at that and rewards people who've done the most to grow and manage the network of consumers. Does that make sense? Now, what makes it a network? Why do we use the word network? Well, a network is a group of peers that are linked, and they have a communication system. And that's the definition of a network. The other part of a network is that there is a server. There's some organization or some component that serves that network. But the network are all peers. They're all equals. In our case, there are no bosses and no underlings here. We are all equal in our access to the compensation plan. So that's a really important thing to know. Every once in a while, we're going to run into some people who don't really understand what this is. They think they've got an idea, but they don't. And they're going to tell you it's some kind of a pyramid or something. There's only one thing you need to know. The newest person here has equal access to the compensation plan that everybody else does. And the fact is that somebody is going to get in this business 5 years from now that's going to make more money than all the rest of us. That's just the way these deals work. So there's no such thing as, the people get in earliest, make all the money, and nobody else does. That's just crazy. Once you understand these compensation plans, you will understand that in order for somebody to make a lot of money, there's a lot of people downstream from them, generations beyond them in the referral chain that are making a lot of money. That's the only way you can make money. Okay? So as you study these, you'll come to understand that. Now, the first part of these compensation plans is called the binary. When you enroll, you get a position in this binary. Now, you can think of this as like a piece of property on a busy highway. Just by itself, it just sits there in the intersection. But you can develop that. You can put a store up. You can put a restaurant. You can put a gas station. You kind of get the feeling what I'm describing here? In this case, the way you develop it is you allow us to help you to build your teams down below here. So when you enroll, you get a position. You're going to get a unique link that you can share with other people. And then as you share the tools, and we help you do that, you're going to enroll your first couple of people down this, which is called your shared leg. You share it with the people that are got in before you up above. And they are also placing some people down here. Okay? Now you are going to start a second leg, binary, 2 numbers, 2 teams, 2 legs, right? Get it? You're going to start this second leg. And this leg is going to be the shared leg for all of these people. They are sharing it with the people that got in before them. So you start stacking some people down here. In time, as this grows, these people are going to do the same thing. They're going to stack a couple of people down below this in the shared leg. They're going to start a second leg. All of this is downstream from you. Okay? All of this in the right side is downstream from you. So the left side and the right side are both below you in the binary. Now, the way you get paid on this is every week the computer kicks on and it starts adding up all of the product value, the point value of all of the products, starting at the bottom, and it just adds everything up and it comes to a total. Starts down here at the bottom, comes all the way up and adds up to a total. It looks at your position and says, yes, this person is qualified for a payout. So let's talk about two terms. One of the terms is active. Okay, a person's active. They are active if they are enrolled and they have made a product purchase in the last 28 days, the 28-day period. Bing, they're active. Okay. The next thing is qualified. If you are active and you have an active person on both the left and the right legs, you are qualified. So you get a payout. Now, sometimes there are other qualifications here. As you get up bigger in the ranks, sometimes a company will have a qualification of you have to have at least 4 people in the power leg, in the shared leg, things like that. But let's just worry about the basic concept at this point in time, because believe me, by the time you get to the point where you're making thousands and thousands of dollars a week in this, you're going to be able to put as many people as you want into this situation, especially using our tools and our methods we're going to show you. So in an example week, let's say the computer kicks on, it tabulates all of these totals below you. They get to your spot. This leg, in this example, had 5,000 points. This leg had 50,000 points. The right leg is 50,000, left leg is 5,000. Okay? Now, you're going to get paid 10% of the point value of the smaller of the two legs paid in United States dollars. So 5,000 points, you get paid $500. You're going to get an email. The first time this happens that you have money owed by the company, you're going to get an email. It says, congratulations, you've got money. Come set up your e-wallet. So an e-wallet is a bank account on the internet, and they dump money in there, and then from there you can download that into your checkbook or onto a debit card or however you wish. Okay? So that's how you get paid. This is one part of the formula of how that pool of money gets distributed. One thing that's kind of interesting about this is that after it calculates every week, it deletes the number of points on the smaller of the two legs. So in this case, the left leg would be 0 going into the next week calculation period. The right leg would also have that same 5,000 points deleted or subtracted from the 50,000. So now it rolls over and carries forward 45,000 into the next week. Now, if this same thing were to repeat the following week, again, the left leg would 0 out, but the right leg would now have 90,000 points, 45,000 from the first week, 45,000 from the second week. You get the point? It builds up, and there is some maximum there. It's going to build up to probably 1,000,000 points or something like that. Now, the reason that happens is because occasionally it does happen that this leg will grow to the point where it causes the legs to flip. Now, the left leg might be bigger, the right leg smaller. When that happens, you've got all of these points build up down there, and you will be able to earn the maximum payout from the binary every week until it goes back down to below, that amount of where you'd get the maximum. And so what is the maximum, she asked? $10,000 per week. But just in case you struggle to live on $10,000 a week in income, you are allowed, once you maximize one binary out, we've been told the company is going to allow up to 2 more. So you max one out, you build a second one, you max the second one out, you build the third one. If you max that out, you're earning $30,000 a week off of the binary. Okay, that right there is a pretty nice income, but it gets better. You can see how the binary develops and just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. There will be a point in time, if you are serious, if you build your business, you will have thousands upon thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of people down line from you in the binary. But it gets bigger, as I said, it gets better, because this is called a unilevel. And the perfect combination of compensation plans is a binary on the front end matched to a unilevel or a check match on the back end. And the way this works is that you have the ability to personally enroll unlimited numbers of people. We have someone on our team above us that has personally registered almost 400 people. That's exciting. Believe me, that's really exciting. Similarly, each one of these people can register unlimited numbers. You're going to get paid percentages, and we don't know what the exact percentages are, but it's probably going to be something like 5, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, or something like that. You're probably going to get paid down about 9 levels. 7 to 9 would be my guess. And the point is that you want the speed and the excitement of the binary to cause density in this check match. You want to have hundreds of thousands of people down here in 6, 8, 10 years. And I'm going to give you an example of what this does in the industry. There is a lady right now in another company that she's been in that company for 9 years. She took advantage of the first launch, the momentum, and she did a lot of hard work. And she's now making over $10 million a year in a similar product line, similar category, similar compensation plan. Very, very similar. Okay. So there's a pattern. There's a history here. We know what we're doing. I have friends on that team that are making millions of dollars a year, and in that company. So we know how this works. We're here to take advantage of this first launch wave. Now, here's what we can experience, because, like I said, there's a pattern here, and we know what's going on. There's going to be about 3 or 4 months of what we call formulation. We are in this period right now. Somewhere around the 9th of January, you're going to start to see this thing ramp up a little bit. That's the launch date for Viiva, January 9, 2019. For about a month or 6 weeks after that, you're going to start to see more and more excitement. Then the binary payouts are going to kick in, and you're going to really see a lot of excitement, because as soon as that happens, you're going to start seeing people with some sizable checks. And, people are going to find out what other people are making. There's going to be a lot of excitement, and this is going to go vertical, and there's going to be 4+ years. I think there's actually going to be about 10 years of very, very high rate of growth. How high this goes and how long it lasts, I can't tell you exactly. But as I said, we are in the middle of a launch that's the largest launch that's ever happened. There's never been another launch that's had Europe, North America, and all of Asia, including China, in the launch. That's never happened before. And we also have a company that's been in existence 2 years that gives us a running start. That's never happened before. So we've got some fun to have the next few years. This is just a time right in here. We're in formulation. We get a head start to put our teams together. You want to have as much of a team as possible, as much knowledge and as much understanding of the tools as possible when you start going into this tipping point, so that you can ride this wave. Well, how do we do this? What do we recommend? We believe in a social media build. And this is the pattern of the people who have built the best teams, the strongest teams, the most money. They use products like Facebook, Pinterest, blog sites. But we focus on Facebook, especially to start with, because it's simple. It is very easy for everybody to duplicate this. And if you look at your Facebook page, this is your search bar right here. Okay? This is your key to money. Because you can go in here and you can put in several words. I like 2-word searches. Keep it easy. Filipino, Houston. And you will find the groups of Filipinos. And I don't care if you're Americans in Germany or Chinese in Germany or whatever you're looking for. I did one time. I was working in a Nigerian group, and I used Nigerian fashions, and I came up with a group that had, I think it was 15 or 16,000 people in it that were interested in Nigerian fashions. I mean, how obscure is that? But, there are a lot of people that are in these interest groups. You can join these groups and begin to make friends, and this gives you an unending supply of people to talk to about our opportunity. We will teach you more how to do that, but this is the basis. This is what we recommend, how to get started. Show your friends and family first, but don't bug them. Just show them, give them the opportunity to join you. If they're not interested, great, no problem. If they are interested, bring them and hook them in and keep going. But this gives you unlimited sources of prospects for your business. And what we do is we want to drop as many people as possible into this marketing funnel. And we know that if you're in these groups and you're talking to people, and I don't suggest that you spend hours a day chatting with people on Facebook. That's not what I'm suggesting. We have a system that we teach people. And when I got started doing this, when I developed this system, I was spending about 20 minutes a day in bed just before I went to sleep. I'd plug my phone in. I'm just kind of relaxing for a few minutes. And I had about 4 or 5 groups in Facebook that I was active in. I would jump into those groups and I would just hit like. I just liked everything. And sometimes I'd drop, if I saw something that I kind of was interested in, I'd drop a little comment and I would just say, that's really great, or super idea, or very funny. Okay? I didn't spend a lot of time chatting back and forth with people, because pretty soon people start sending me friend requests. And pretty soon I see somebody that looks like an interesting prospect. And what's an interesting prospect? To me, it's somebody that's got a family and a house and cars and pictures of their dogs and their, all the in-laws and everything at the holiday season, and pictures of their friends. They're comfortable in social media. They've got a family, which means that they could always use money. They're comfortable with Facebook and social media, so they understand what they're doing there. These are the kinds of things, and there's some other characteristics, maybe between the ages of 25 and 50. These are the things that tell me they might be a really good prospect. So I would send them a friend request. 7 friend requests per day, either you sending friend requests or them coming. That's 210 per week. This is the raw material of your marketing business. This is referral marketing. So that's what we do. We just make friends with a few people and we talk to them. It's pretty easy, right? So you've got conversations and invitations, about 20 per week. That's only a few per day. That's not a lot of time. You got about 5 or 6 people every week coming into the meetings, coming into the sessions. Coming through that, you're going to get 4, 5, 6 people every month coming through on auto ship. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, does it? You may have more. I've got people on my team that are getting 3 or 4 a week. But what that is, at the end of 6 months, you've got 30, 40 people in your group on auto ship, and those people are going to be serious. They're going to be duplicating what you're doing. And, you get 40 people, double that becomes 80 people, double that 160 people, double that. You see what's happening. Pretty soon, you've got 500 people becoming 1,000, 1,000 people becoming 2,000. Duplication starts to kick in, and momentum happens. Okay? But this is a very, very simple, doable pattern. Just, anybody can find a few minutes every day to do this. If they're serious, if you really want what the result is here. Some people do a lot more. Some people are in a situation where they can devote more time to this. The other thing that I like about this is, I can do this while I'm cleaning house. I can do this while I'm cooking. I can do this while I'm doing the laundry. I can multitask very easily doing this. And that was super important to me, because you talk about a guy that had a business. I'm a single guy, so I do all my own cooking, do all my own stuff. My wife is still in the Philippines. We're trying to get her here in the United States. So in the meantime, I've got to do all of this. I don't have time to sit and spend hours and hours just chatting with people on Facebook. But I can multitask. I can do this while I'm cooking. Make sense? Well, thank you for suffering through my cough a little bit. I had the flu a few weeks ago, and normally those demons don't catch me because I'm pretty supplemented, but I went to the dentist and let that guy into my mouth, and no sooner did I do that than a couple of days later I came down with the sniffles, and I'm totally healed, but I find my lung capacity is not quite what it was. But Tavala is getting me there, right? How to get started? Well, let me see if I've got something here I can wet my whistle with again. Getting started with this team is as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, you want to get enrolled so that you've got your position in the binary secured. When you do that, you're going to get your unique link that you can give to people. Anything that goes through that link, you're going to get credit for. If they go in and they register and become a customer, they just want to buy product, great. You get paid on that. If they become a member, great. You get paid on that. Okay. This is referral marketing. They're going to get the same thing when they come and register as a member. They get, excuse me, they get a unique link. Okay. Makes sense? Okay. So you want to register. The next thing you want to do as part of that registry is you want to place your initial order. Now, I want you to do that appropriate to your family budget. Okay. You don't need to spend a lot of money. We're not, nobody puts in the inventories or anything like that here. But this is a multi-million-dollar business. This is the start of a ginormous business for you. You need to get to know the products. You need to start experiencing the benefits of these products. And there's a law in every country in the world that in order to get a payout by being a member of a consumer network, you actually have to be a consuming member of the consumer network, right? Does that make sense? So, people sometimes ask, what do you do? I say, we only do 3 things. We buy a few products, we tell our story, and we spend the money. And that's really all we do here. So make your initial order, and I do suggest an auto ship. I'm not going to go into all of the reasons for that here, but there is a video in the Viiva group on Facebook talking about the value of auto ship and why that's so important. It's not a requirement, okay, but we suggest it because you want to protect your carry forward, among other things. And placing an order every 28 days keeps that carry forward every week in the binary from flushing. So you want to be sure and have that. Okay. Third, start sharing the videos. We've got these 2 videos that have been very carefully crafted to be able to open up discussions with people. And what we usually suggest is you have somebody you're talking to, develop a little script. It's going to seem clumsy at first. I get it. Don't worry about it. You have unlimited number of people. Okay. You're not going to run out of prospects. So work with your coach to develop a little bit of a script. Mine usually goes something like this. I've got a couple of videos that somebody shared with me. I think they're really exciting, and I'm getting very interested in this. Would you be willing to watch these 2 short videos and tell me what you think? Now, people are going to come back and they're going to say, sure. Or they're going to say, well, what are they? And you're going to say, well, it's a business opportunity. And I'm pretty excited about this. But I'm really interested in knowing what you think about it. And then I just share the videos. Okay. They've come back and basically said, yes, but I'm curious about what they are. That's the way I interpret that. When they say, well, what are they? They didn't just say no. So I just go ahead and share the videos. And then remember, I'm on Facebook. I'm chatting, right? And what I do is I say, look, just watch these short videos and then let's talk afterwards because I'm really interested in seeing what you see here. And then follow up with them the next day, okay? Many people are going to come back and they're going to be interested to get more information, okay? So when that happens, include them into one of your groups that you're in our group, okay? Introduce them to the other people there. So when you come into the group, say, group, please welcome Mary. All right. And let your coach, your upline coach, know that Mary's come into the group so that your upline coach can go greet her and offer to answer any questions Mary has. Mary's usually going to say, gee, I really don't know that much about this yet. And your upline coach is going to know how to deal with that. He or she is going to say something like, that's great. That's why we're here, is to answer your questions. We've got a presentation on Thursday evening or whenever it is. We'll be back at that time. And why don't you just keep monitoring this conversation and you'll see different questions asked. In the meantime, let me add you to the Viiva group on Facebook and you can look through our resource materials. Okay? See what's happening here? We're bringing them along. They can grow at their own pace and we give you support. So what do you do then? Go bring more in. All you have to do is become really good at delivering the tools and let the tools do the work. So it's that easy. Register, get your initial order together appropriate to your family finances, and share the videos. Okay? That's your start. The rest of it is just simple repetition of a duplication process. So if you got any questions about that, hit me up. I'll be happy to answer them. That's all for me for today. I hope you had a great time. I hope you saw something here really exciting. And let's go build a future and spend some time on the beach, because I don't know you yet, but I want to know you a lot better.